content-based instruction. The teaching content is an educational project based on the introduction of a variety of topics from the academic disciplines or culture of the target language, using the medium of language. These discussions promote a proper social context in which communication occurs and, therefore, learning. The fundamental idea of the teaching content is that the prioritization of content on grammar in the second language classroom and the opportunity it offers students talking and thinking in a second language, using it in a relevant, authentic and significant environment, improves not only the competence of the students in that language but also enrich their cognitive development. These studies indicate that learners show higher levels of activity, greater acceptance of language and subjects, spend more time and effort, and general improvement in attitude towards language and learning situations. First, the content-based learning creates a context in which it has significant communication, because the focus is on content and not language. The basic factor determining the planning of everything, it is not necessary to seek communicative situations, but the conversation about academic subjects is itself a unique communicative situation. This connects to the second factor in content-based education. Opportunities to use the second language are more natural, more frequent, and lead to greater motivation and interest. Similarly, there comes a better learning because information based on content is easier to remember than the grammar-based information. Finally, the teaching content is centralized in students. Procedure. Development. There are many ways to approach creating a CBI lesson. This is one possible way. Preparation. Choose a subject of interest to students. Find 3 or 4 suitable sources that deal with different aspects of the subject. This could be websites, reference books, audio or video lectures, or even real people. During the lesson, divide the class into small groups and assign each group a small research task and a source of information to use to help them fulfill the task. Then, once they have done their research, they form new groups with students that used other information sources and share and compare their information. There should be then some product as the end result of this sharing of information, which could take the form of a group report or presentation of some kind.
Models. Since the 1970s, there have been quite a few educational initiatives that emphasize the acquisition of a language through content. Some of them are language across the curriculum, immersion education, immigrant on arrival programs, languages for specific purposes. Organization of subjects. In content-based lesson, the teacher uses active learning strategies to reach his goal that students can learn the content of the lesson. Keeping students motivated and interested are two important factors underlying content-based learning. Motivation and interest are crucial in supporting student success with challenging, informative activities that support success and which help the student learn complex skills. When a student is motivated and interested in the material he is learning, that student makes greater connections between topics, elaborations with learning material, and can recall information better. In short, when a student is intrinsically motivated, that student does better in school. Learner role. Students are actively involved in a content-based classroom setting. On the one hand, they are in charge of their own learning process and their support of others, and on the other hand, they might partly choose content and activities. Teacher role. Teaching the content-based approach necessitates a large amount of work and energy. The teacher has to fulfill several roles, such as being a good language teacher and, in addition, having an appropriate knowledge of the subject matter. In addition, the teacher has to choose material and adapt them to a student. In conclusion, there are some advantages and disadvantages of the content-based instruction. Advantages. It can make learning a language more interesting and motivating. Students can use the language to fulfill a real purpose, which can make a student both more independent and confident. Students can also develop a much wider knowledge of the world through CBI, which can feed back into improving and supporting their general educational needs. CBI is very popular among EAP teachers as it helps students to develop valuable study skills such as note-taking, summarizing, and extracting key information from tests.